What's going on, good folks? How you doing out there? It's your main man, Hammerhand, the MGTOW monk, coming at you one mo again. Yo, man. Yo. I have a little a special deal here that I want to roll for you first. This was prepared by our friend of MGTOW, friend of all men going their own way, friend of monks, friend of the red pill. I assume I don't want to put too much on him. And creator of the MGTOW mirror. This was created by him, and I think that it deserves a good look. So we're going to hit that one up first, and you can put your comments on what you think about it. All feedback, constructive feedback, is welcome. So here we go.
For roads untraveled, weep not for paths left alone, 'cause beyond every bend is a long blinding end. It's the worst kind of pain I've known. Give up your heart left broken, and let that mistake pass on. 'Cause the love that you lost wasn't worth what it cost, and in time you'll be glad it's gone. Weep not for sights unseen. May your love never end, and if you need a friend, there's a seat here alongside me.
What'd you think about that? Say, give a big hand to Zeitgeist Eater. And while we're thinking about it, MGTOW Monger as well. I appreciate the hell out of that. I thought it was pretty damn good. And I wanted to preview that here. So if you don't know who Zeitgeist Eater is, look him up. Relatively small channel, gigantic footprint. And that's kind of the way that I like them to be honest with you. A lot of us kind of sue for subs, and we go out there to try to bust those numbers and get them numbers up. And you can tell with channels like mine, that will probably never happen. For some strange reason, they've lost a grip on chronic. You cannot kill the undead. Moving in quickly on 50,000. Ribby moving in on 100,000. Astonishing accomplishments. And we see it more and more and more every single day. So something is happening. Something's going on. And I'm happy to be a part of it. Thanks for having me as your host. I appreciate you very much. You saw the thumbnail. Rejects, societal pariahs, people that are divergent and deviant. And I think that a lot of that plays to these folks. If you can't accept where you're at in the world, if you can't accept your own position in life, you're not going to be able to accept when folks go above and beyond. You see? You know, what did the old boy say in that Invincibles movie? When everybody's super, no one's super. That's kind of where we're headed. The erasure, the closing down of excellence is becoming a popular idea because of people's feelings. It's no different in the comic landscape, music, movies, any entertainment of any stripe, any variety. But I wanted to talk about comics and pop culture in particular in that lens. And it's not hard to see that folks are being targeted. It's not hard to see that children are being targeted. The reaction of your reactionary leftists, Marxists, communists it wasn't unprecedented. When Ron DeSantis signed into law that you can no longer mentally, emotionally, and spiritually molest children, the left went apeshit. It's the "Don't Say Gay" bill. They said it's nothing of the kind. It's the "Don't Groom My Children" bill, is what it is. It takes the responsibility for directing your child's very, very young development and puts it on the parent. Are all parents wonderful? No, they're not. There's a shit ton of really bad ones out there. There's a shit ton of mediocre ones out there. I don't think that there's too many parents that are really engaged in their children's lives, and not because they're vicious or malevolent or because they don't care, they don't love their kids, but because it takes a hell of a lot just to run a household today. Comic books are a favorite thing of mine. Now, I won't pretend that I've been in the loop for the last 20 years because I haven't been, but I've got long boxes full of them sitting over here from the past. Remember when you could tell a story and you didn't have to include every make, model, and color? You could just tell the story. Inclusiveness by itself is racism. Too many people don't understand that. Diversity is code speak for anti-white, because anti-white is what's running the culture right now. The culture happens to be majority white here in this country. Overall, what are we? About 15%, 16% of the population of the world? So it's funny how things go. Very, very bizarre, very strange. These people need you. They need you as the benchmark. They need you to be able to say, yep, that's the people that we're going to play off of. They're the ones that run everything. They've got it all, and blah, 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 blah. Like Eric July says, you know who he is, Young Ripper, right? He says, they only see legitimacy in white characters. It's the truth. They only take over white characters, right? And try to make them into something else. If they had confidence in what it was that they were doing, what would they do? They'd create a new IP. But a new IP without an established brand, without an established lineage, isn't going to work. Not with what they're pushing. It's not going to work. So they need to rip off Spider-Man. They need to rip off Superman or Batman or Batgirl or Marvel. You can have incredible, wonderful characters of all stripes, all colors, both sexes. I'm sorry to tell you, there's only two sexes, two genders. That's it. Your feelings don't count as a gender. That's why we're so fucked up today. is because people value their feelings and validating the feelings of others in their in-group more than they care about consistency in any way, shape, or form. It's not the only reason, but it's some of them. Let me get into the comments real quick. And my goodness, there's a whole bunch of them. 16 minutes in, 320 sets of eyeballs already. Thank you very much, gang. I appreciate you. And for all of you that are giving me the well wishes, I appreciate it, man. Don't know what it was. Some kind of a little stomach deal. But yeah, we crapped out a whole bunch of it. You didn't need to know that. But, you know, it is what it is. John, generic last name, Hammer, story time. Wild man, hey, everyone. Rio Blazero, because the parents are children themselves. Yeah, they have been for a long time now. A long time. I remember feeling that way when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I was looking at parents and I'm like, and they don't act too much different than us. I knew that there was a difference between us. I knew that age should bring maturity. You know, you don't have to go wear a suit. You know, you don't have to go and drink tea with your little pinky up in the air if you don't want to, or smoke cigars with a whole bunch of. You don't have to do those things, but a certain level of maturity is not just expected, it's absolutely needed. It's needed in order to govern the culture, to push the culture forward in a positive manner. And we don't have that. That's been gone for decades. But I think there's a fella that I watch on TikTok. Kramer says that there should have been a little more patience. These people that are trying to take over culture right now, that are trying to stomp us out, they should have waited until the Gen Xers were gone. The Gen Xers were, in my opinion, the worst ones that you could try to pull this shit on. They're the worst ones that you could pull this on. And it didn't work. And now we're in an all-out culture war. And we have been for a long time. And everything that's positive or negative is going to come from that. Mr. Valorum, women who don't want kids shouldn't be entering the marriage pool. I agree with you. I think that marriage, maybe it's not exclusively reserved, you know, for people that want kids, but I think that maybe there should be some changes there. If you don't want children, man or woman, you should not be married. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. But that's neither here nor there. That's another conversation entirely. Pecus Bogwickus. Did I get it right? Bok whatever that means. Davina Duckworth, haven't read comics in years. Well, you're not missing anything. That's why comics are in the fucking toilet. And that's why a lot of people are talking about DC right now and the DCEU. Detective Comics, Extended Universe, and where it's going to go with the acquisition made by Discovery of Warner. Now it's Discovery Warner Media, I guess. AT&T unloaded them. And I can see why AT&T unloaded them. What did they got, like $100 billion debt? Something like it's some fucking absurd, obscene number. And they can't get out of their own way. You got to be honest. These folks don't know anything about comics, comic culture, nerd culture. They don't know anything about it. And it's a gigantic culture. And it runs all through everything, everywhere. It's everywhere. And what happens? You get a bunch of fucking bean counters in here. You get a bunch of numbers pushers. Well, that Superman property, that sells pretty good. Let's just go ahead and make 2 or 3 of those movies and blah, 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 blah. Let's get social justice broad A, social justice dude B, put them together, and let's just make us a social justice-y forgot Superman. No. Let's make a black Superman. Oh yeah. Why? These folks pander to a perceived image. Don't think for 1 second that a company or a group like Twitter is not absolutely used as a way to justify pandering. It certainly is. I've thought for years now that bases like Twitter have been established to justify certain moves by companies. They don't respond because of Twitter. They use places like Twitter to stir up the fucking hornet's nest, create the acceptance for it, and then market that acceptance back to the companies and their shareholders. It's the exact same scenario that was used to, I don't know, create, market, and push a phony dossier a few years ago. The exact same method. So yeah, I'm firmly of the opinion that that's how they do business over there at Twatter. Is DC Comics headed out? Is it gone? Is it going to be dissolved? It's possible. But you see these folks that have made this atmosphere, this environment, you see them straight up going right to the fucking wall. And I don't mean the wall that you and I are familiar with. I mean they're taking their bad habits, their bad company, and their bad intentions, and they're going right to the wall that they're going to get shot down on. And they're not going to budge. They're not going to move. They're completely willing to wipe everything out. And that's why you should be completely willing to let it go. There's a lot of folks out there that I have some respect for them. I admire their positions on certain things. And they say, no, it's 100% worth fighting for. And I get that. I understand that. But instead of just fighting for it for 25 years, let it fail. Let it fail. The IPs will get picked up by people that respect them. Maybe not all of them. Maybe not all of them. The super giant ones like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, they'll all probably remain in corporate hands. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but probably. Everything else is going to be up for grabs. But by the time that has come around, people like Ethan Van Sciver, Eric D. July, Quarter Black, Gary, everybody out there, Drunk 3PO, all of these people are working on their own projects and they're starting to build their own infrastructures. I could mention 100 more of them. It's not hard to do. If you're invested in nerd culture, just look around. Look around. You see it. I'm heavily invested. Heavily invested. I love it. It's what I did for the longest time. It's what I do now. A lot more privately than I used to, but it's what I do now. I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan. But I'm willing to let it go. I am. I have a book sitting right over here. And in that book, I've got about 200 characters that I've developed over 25 years. Since about 88. Since about 1988. Full backstories, full workups, ready to go. And at some point in time, I'm going to start shopping those characters. I'm going to start shopping those groups. And I'll get in there, as created by, drawn by X amount of people, inked by X amount of people. And I may sell the ideas or just take a percentage for when the ideas are used. They'll end up somewhere. I guarantee it. They'll end up somewhere. I'm ready to go with those 200 characters. Eric July is ready to go with the Ripperverse. Ethan Van Sciver is well on his way. $3 million fucking dollars in. You got to let these other IPs go. It's hard, man. You can use the equivalency of when we talk about alt platforms, when we talk about alt tech, like the little pre-roll here by Zeitgeist Eater, when he's saying, go to alt tech. Get the fuck off of YouTube. How many people actually get the fuck off of YouTube? They just don't want to change. They don't want to change. To their detriment, they don't want to change. There's a certain amount of comfort and excitement being involved with a channel that has tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of subs, right? There's a ton of it. And folks just don't want to move. Now, I've run a couple of Odyssey exclusive videos. I haven't done anything for a couple of weeks here, a few weeks. But you showed me that it works. When I put it up there in the community tab and I say, this is Odyssey exclusive. This is the only way that you go and get it. What do? You go over there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 fucking looks. By far the biggest looks that I've been getting are when I announce them. And I got to thank Sandman for that. Had a little chat with him a while ago about that. And that's kind of what he does. So yeah, man, you have to be willing to let this stuff go. Oh, let me show you something. I went and get this right here. I'm a big fan of gamer dice, right? Obviously, I had my dice and I had my game bag, and I would go to my conventions and we would run our modules. We would do our everything that we did, and I loved dice. So I got a couple of these platforms, and I went and got some dice that had been like misprinted or misstamped, and I just drop them in these tubes here. I've got clears here, and I've got the solids over here. I just put them there, and they're nice little decoration pieces. In the off chances that I have anybody into my space, they always are attracted to the fucking dice, and they're like, oh, damn, where'd you get all them dice? Online. Just get them remaindered. You can get 100 of them for $10. Stuff like that. Let me jump in these chats here. Island Hermit. Got to go get ready for my dad's Easter dinner. I'll see you guys later. By the way, guys, happy Easter. Somebody wished me happy Easter last night, like early in the morning. I'm like, Easter? I had forgotten it was Easter. You know, I don't celebrate it. I don't celebrate these things anymore. You know, mostly because of the way that they've been chopped up and packaged and butchered and bastardized. That's kind of why I don't celebrate them anymore, gang. But that doesn't have a lot to do with the subject at hand. Misfits, rejects, sexual deviants, people that can't control their sexual proclivities are all banding together to seek the respect of the righteous. You see? And if they can't get the respect of the righteous, then they're going to try to stomp you out. They will co-opt your properties. They will tell you, no, this is ours now. It's our way now. Superman's a fagot. Wonder Woman is a fagot. Right? Aquaman's headed there. Aqualad's fucking dolphins. Poison Ivy's kissing broads. How many... I saw this thing that Van Sciver did a couple of weeks ago. And he was going through the Transformers. Transformers, robots in disguise. You know how many fucking Transformers they have that they've turned bisexual or fucking gay? Goddamn robots. It's in everything. Remember the G.I. Joe cover a year or so ago where all the dreadnoughts were like stripper club fagots? Remember that? Absolutely fucking disgusting. Disgusting. Remember what happened to the G.I. Joe book sales after that? Right in the fucking toilet. What happened to IDW? They lost G.I. Joe. They lost Transformers. They probably won't be a business or an entity in any other fashion than in name only now. Because that's what happens when you start pandering to these psychos. You have got to get this out of your head that you need these properties, that you need these things to survive. I realize that collecting things is a bug for a lot of people. But what good is the collection when it's a poison pill? What good is that when they're selling you a bad bill of goods? How many of us were talking about the MCU being a thing, the DCU being a thing, because you could see it coming? You could see it coming. You could see that that's what they were going to do. And not because we are clairvoyant. No, because they were telling you outright, we need much, much, much more female representation and that verbal diarrhea that motherfuckers like Kevin Feige pump out. Kevin Feige was a rock star. A rock star. Now he's the kind of motherfucker you scrape off of a boot, just with a lot of money. Boy, he dropped the ball. Either that or he sold his soul for the first 10 fucking years, and then whoever's writing the checks came to collect. Remember what you promised us, Kevin? You know how that is? You know how that goes? I know how that goes. That's why I don't make deals with the devil. That's why I don't sell my fucking soul. That's why I'm not short-sighted. And you shouldn't be either. I rarely tell you what you should or should not be, but short-sightedness is not a good thing to be. Not a good thing to have. One fast DAC. Please hit the like, guys. Thanks, man. I don't know how many Fonzies we got, but I'm sure it's a lot. Sure it's a lot. Working dude, you're right, man. Sometimes. That guy, 77, stick with Bronze Age and Modern Age when it's comics to comics. That's pretty much all I do, man. 3 long boxes, 1 short box that I use as like an intermediate box. And yeah. Oh, I'll be setting up my gigantic brand new glass display case with fuck tons of Transformers, resin figurines, all kinds of stuff. And I'll take some pictures of that and I'll show it to you when it gets done. It's going to be pretty nice. Success Pool Endeavors, Lone Wolf, Mr. Valorum. Everyone has privilege except a white man. No one has privilege, folks. You got to get this idea out of your head. If my parents worked their asses off to give me a better life, is that privilege or is it prudence? It's not privilege. There's no privilege in that. You still have to sacrifice. If you're tracking money 4, 5, 6 generations down, let's say in just one family, let's make it easy, right? Are all of those people privileged, or was that planning from 150 years ago until modern day, until current day? Was it good planning all the way down the road? Sure. Privilege is an extension of the jealousy of people, the have-nots. That's what privilege is. That's what it is in reality. In reality. The dictionary term doesn't matter, because that's not how it's used. Just like these idiots that talk about, well, the dictionary term for feminism is The dictionary term is fuck you. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't operate that way in the real world. That's why your dictionary doesn't matter. You change speech every 5 minutes, so your dictionary term doesn't matter. Compton, 2952 at MGTOW Life. That was the whole goal with we just want to get married. We just want to get married. Once that was allowed, it opened the entire floodgates of hell. Yeah, it did, man. I remember when I was young back then and I was hearing, we just want to love each other and not be persecuted. We just want to get married just like everyone else, which is total fucking horse shit. It's a big fat fucking lie. And what does it do? It plays on the emotions of the stupid and the mentally infirmed. That's what that does, is it plays on their emotions. And then that seeps out into the culture. And then the culture's like, well, maybe we should cut him a break, without even seeing what's going to come of that. And that's why we're in the raging shitstorm that we're in right now with these kinds of people. You open the door to mental illness, debauchery, sexual proclivities, and this is what you end up with. That's why I'm shutting the fucking door. And if you're smart, you'll shut the door. And you will tell these people to get the fuck on down the road. Get to stepping. Get your equality where you can get it, but don't come to me, because I ain't got nothing for you. I don't support your lifestyle. I don't back it up. I don't have any room in my heart for it. Sorry about your love. But you're a hater, Hammer. Okay. You're a bigot. Okay. Well, you're a racist. Okay. There's nothing that you can say that is going to change my mind. Nothing. All of these coveralls that folks use to try to bludgeon you and bully you and get you to see it their way, pick a finger. Working dude, they want white people to be the minority and treat us poorly. Well, that's already happening. Free Ross, I never get why these rainbow people want to talk to kids about what they do in the bedroom, because it's easy to indoctrinate children. That's why. There's no safety involved in that. When you hand a kindergartner or a first grader a book on how to have anal sex, you should be getting shot in the face. That's it. That's it. Oh, this video might get interrupted, by the way, just in case. Those are my thoughts on that. And that's the way it should be. If I caught anyone talking to my son like that, I'd brutalize them. There's no talking. There's no justification. There's no, well, I'm worried about your feelings. And no, I don't care about your feelings. I'll know enough about your feelings when you're screaming under my boot. Comics are a direct influence on kids. Lots of kids. Most kids, now, some folks ain't going to like this. Most kids are into comics because they don't have a social group. You see, I didn't have a social group when I was growing up. I had friends, but it wasn't a steady kind of thing. So got into comics, liked comics, got into role playing, started hanging out with folks that were like-minded, right? There's a lot of people out here who are socially awkward, socially ostracized that head towards comics, role playing, things of that nature. And this fucking filth is even in those circles. Now, if you've got kids, watch them careful. If they like comics, get them into older comics. If they like role playing, get them into older role playing. Even fucking Dungeons and Dragons is trying this shit on. Just disgusting. The Populous Pimp, PPT. Welcome, gents. Welcome. Absolutely, man. Welcome. Feral Ravage Hammer. How can us in Gen Z defend ourselves from crazy millennials? I'm 20 and know better, but it's a very young and impressionable lot. Going to be a huge split between guys like me and the woke. How you defend yourself, you already know how you defend yourself. If you're aware of the problem, you don't buy into the problem. If you've got friends that are buying into the problem, then you've got some hard decisions to make. You can try to make them aware of the fact that they're being led, that they're being indoctrinated. And if they don't bite down on it, if they don't say, well, maybe you're right, let's show me your proof. And then you show them and they still don't want to see it, you might have to get some new friends. It is important nowadays that folks have the ability to distance themselves from unhealthy influences. And these things are unhealthy. There is nothing normal or natural about men fucking men and women fucking women. It's not normal. It's not healthy. It's not natural. It's a sexual proclivity and a deviance. And everybody knows that. Everyone knows that. If that were the norm, the human race would not exist. It's just that simple. We wouldn't be here. And no one can argue that. You have the opportunity in front of you right now, every single day that you march forward through time, to do the right thing in life, to not give in to all of this fucking shit that's around you. Don't support race swapping. Don't support the race hustle. Don't support sex swapping. Captain Marvel being dropped right in between Infinity War and Endgame, right? Was that necessary? No. You were given the impression that you had to see that to understand what was going to happen in Endgame, and that completely was not true. It was not true, but it was engineered to make you think that it was true. I've been on to these motherfuckers for a long time. I've been looking at the deceptive practices that they use. Even in their movie trailers, you go back and you look at some of the Avengers movie trailers for a couple of the movies there, for the Star Wars shit, Disney Star Wars. There's a lot of stuff in the trailers that never shows up on screen. Entire scenes that never make it to the screen, but you're being baited into thinking certain things, right? Now, I won't say that the trailers aren't fantastic. The trailers are fantastic. As a matter of fact, in a lot of instances, they're better than the fucking movie. But yeah, man, you have opportunities to do the right thing. And the right thing is supported by what we say on here: morals, ethics, values, and principles. That's what the right thing is supported by. If you have a solid base for those attributes, you can't be moved off of it. And if that means that you have to part company with a longtime IP, if that means that you have to part company with people that simply refuse to see the light or they're too far gone to even understand it, then that's a decision that you'll have to make. And if you choose, like I've said before, if you choose to accept these people and you choose to accept that kind of filth, then you're guilty by association. You see, that does not look good on you. It never looks good on you when you co-sign somebody else's bullshit. If you expect to be valued as a high-value person, a high-value moral and ethical man, you can't co-sign fuckery. You just can't. Excuse me. Brandon Trueblood at Mohanad procrastinating. Hamster is procrastinating. He needs to do his taxes and he's putting it off. Well, I don't know why that's in here, but you know. Channel 1800, listen to Hammer Brothers. Well, just whatever. Look, whatever I say is whatever I say. My opinions are my own. The speech that comes out of my mouth is unimpeded. But if you don't like it, you don't have to take it to heart. So no absolutes here on this channel except your morals, ethics, values, and principles. That's it. That's it. Ruin Black Cat, read manga. Well, I've got, hold on. Right there. Decades old. Decades old. I've been in the game for a long time. I know what that shit's about. Steve Sanchez, when I was in high school, I used to segregate myself to people who only talk about video games. The Bronx, I couldn't have a social circle because we were running from my stepfather constantly. I kind of know the feeling on that one. You know, we weren't running from any particular person, but our lives were so unstable that it was move here, move there, move there, move there. I'm not joking when I say this. We moved 19 times in 4 years. 19 times. That's what happens when you have two spuds that get together and they start making kids and they have no business making kids. And there's a whole fucking bunch of that out there. A whole bunch of that out there. James Von Maxwell, the dirty, filthy ginger hamster. The right believes there can be a compromise. The left wants to eliminate us. I think that we're drawing closer to the elimination round, is what I think. Now, it may get to a point where all of this trumped up, pardon the pun there, this trumped up power, so to speak, this moral and ethical power that the left believes that it has, is just going to draw down and disappear. And then things will probably just go back to the way that they were. Now, that's entirely possible when you have somebody like Elon Musk that's running around waving billions at a company, and the company's doing everything that it can right now to avoid, they call it a hostile takeover. I mean, I guess you could call it that. And they would view it as such because they don't want to give up the authoritarian grip on that platform. I mean, it is what it is. Vanish, Mantle. I got into video games, anime, and manga for the same reasons. I had no real social circle. There's a lot of us that don't. You know, I choose not to be associated with folks, typically, you know, out here in real life, because it's a pain in the fucking ass. It's a pain in the ass. You know, it just is. I didn't used to feel that way. I was more than willing to get up and say, okay, let's go, man. Let's go over here to, you know, Bobby's house. Let's go over to Jimmy's house. Let's see what's going on. You know, you waste a half a tank of fucking gas and nobody can do anything. And you add 30 years onto that. And then it's like, what's the fucking point? For me, anyways. I'm not saying that it should be the same for you, but for me, there was no fucking point. There's just no point. Compton, 2952. Just think how the future will look with a bunch of mentally disturbed sexual degenerates roaming around. Fuck that. I agree with you. Bro, we're already in it. We're already in that shit right now. We're already in that. Timothy Sokol, like Hitler, get the kids in line. They're the new minds. Yeah, sort of, kind of. I have different thoughts on Uncle Adolf, and I have justification for having different thoughts on Adolf Hitler and the way that Germany came around, especially after they were raided and plundered after World War I. But we won't get into that. Yeah, we won't get into that one. MGTOW Live, like that teacher targeting under 18s, she needs to die. I don't know about die. Look, man, people make mistakes. And I'm not saying that you should jump out there and forgive people that are fucking 14-year-olds. I'm not saying that you should do that. There should be no forgiveness for it. Is there a price to pay? Is there a penalty on the books? Pay the fucking price. Then get that person that feels this attraction to youth that is illegal. You know what I'm saying? Get them some help, because they clearly need some help. And it's women more now today than it's ever been. There's a big problem with women, and people don't want to see it. They don't want to look at it. They don't want to acknowledge it. You can have women dragging dead babies through the fucking streets today, and if a white guy goes off and shoots somebody tomorrow, they will forget about the dead babies being dragged through the street. They will bury it. They will memory hole it. But you'll be talking about the white guy that shot somebody for the next 6 fucking months with goons like Don Lemon. White people are the most dangerous people on earth right now. Better watch it, homeboy. You're going to be unemployed like your boy. Dancer Ellie. Is that Elle or Ellie? I seen teachers acting gay around kids. I asked him to wise up. That's not right. After he ran his mouth, I just told him I was going to whoop his ass when nobody was around. He wised up real quick. Well, there you go. And I don't blame you one bit. Jared T, down the primrose path. Yes. Everybody's got those shaded lenses on, man. Ton loves her. Ton loves her? Oh, man, I understand. I'm just a prison for life type of guy. HMK Films, if I had kids, they wouldn't be allowed smartphones until they're 15. I think that's a very good policy. And old media only. They'll eventually make Tom and Jerry gay. Well, they've already tried to make Bert and Ernie gay, right? That was a couple of years ago. People that were sticking their hands up in the puppets. Oh, yeah, we already knew that they were fags. We knew that they were gay. Fuck you. You fucking scumbags. These people are scumbags. Successful endeavors. The subversion is now meant to destroy the upcoming generations. Well, it's going to do more than destroy. I don't think it's going to destroy them. It's going to build them in a different way. You know, it's going to build them in a different way. We've always known that it takes less than one generation to completely flip a culture. Less than one. And we're going on 3. The reason that the United States is such a hard fucking nut to crack is because of the way that the United States was founded. It was different from everything else in the world. Much different. A lot of blood on a lot of hands, but not mine. And I'm not taking any responsibility for it. See? Clean hands. Clean hands. Davina Duckworth, further to Hammer's point, reprints of classics are changing the material. Yeah, especially when these media companies get together. I was just reading about Paramount Plus just copped an episode of Deep Space Nine. They just disappeared it, called Duet. Right now, I don't know the specifics of the episode. I just sat down a couple of months ago and went right through Deep Space Nine, all 7 seasons of it, in just a few nights. Pretty damn good series. I think it's underrated, in my opinion. But I was reading about this when these companies started smashing each other together, and one absorbing the other, and then that one getting absorbed by another one, and a whole series of episodes just started disappearing, or they were coming with a warning label, like fucking Gone with the Wind has a warning label. What the fuck do you need a warning label for with Gone with the Wind and Ben-Hur? That's how fucking soft these goofy people are today. Soft. Soft as fuck. Dragon Slayer Mar, most teachers are cowards who have never been in a real fight. They fear physical pain like any cowardly animal. I don't disagree with you on that at all. 450 of y'all sitting in the house right now listening to me spurg. Thank you. Man, let's get to the subject at hand. How many of these characters have been gay? Let's see if we can rattle them off. They put Superman on the shelf and they made his son gayer than a blade, right? So now he's out there tongue dancing with some pink-haired goof. Aqualad's fucking dolphins. I'm not shitting. Batman's running around in the nude with his fucking bacon and eggs showing. Disgusting shit. Who the fuck needs to see that? These are comic books. Comic books, man. Poison Ivy, she's gay. Who else? Who else is fucking gay? Obviously, Marvel is Captain Marvel is gay. Like about 20 fucking Transformers, Autobots, and Decepticons, bisexual, homo robots. You know? You gonna tell me that they're not aiming this fucking crap at your kids? Of course they're aiming this at your kids. If they fuck your kids up, that they have the opportunity to get brain transplants and live on for another 300 years and keep everything. I mean, look at these senior citizens, these fucked up human beings that are running the country. I mean, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi can barely walk. You know, she looks like Madam, you know, the hand puppet Madam. She looks like that motherfucker. Just what you got? Pete Booty Judge laying next to his gay lover, right? With a fucking baby. You gonna tell me that they're not aiming this at your kids, that they're not trying to take your kids from you? Your kids will end up liking this shit. It's an easy path to follow when you're young, when you're very young. Absolutely nauseating shit. Just nauseating. Boom! It's not a generational thing because they are woke in all generations, including Gen Z. No, there isn't. There isn't. Being a liberal, even a raging liberal in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s is not the same as woke. Not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. It's ratcheted up 10 fucking points from where it ever was. One fast DAC. It's an illness. OS Walker, God bless you, Hammer. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Tons Lover, honestly, I feel like Obama laid the foundation for all of this to happen. Well, he certainly opened the doors for a lot of it, but it was already there. This shit has been festering for 60 years, 70 years. The real foundation for this came with that collision of feminism and civil rights. When feminism hijacked civil rights and they used up civil rights and then wadded that shit up and threw it over their fucking shoulder, feminism took off and all the people fighting for civil rights are still in the fucking ghettos. They forgot them that fast. And that would include all the white people in the ghettos. I don't know why there seems to be this exclusive idea that only blacks and browns live in ghettos. I came from the ghetto, and I don't understand that. Lots of whites live in the fucking ghetto, hand to mouth. Tim Elgato, Hammerhand, dropping some truth bombs. Trying to, brother, trying to. Don't be surprised if this broadcast is not cordially received. Athos, there are animal brothels in Europe now. It doesn't surprise me. A couple of years ago, Canada decriminalized bestiality. Know what I'm saying? There are fucking cunts on TikTok right now, today, that are telling you to go to PetSmart and spend $3 or $4 on an animal chew toy that heavily resembles a dick. And they're proud of it. They're proud of it. But we don't want to be objectified. James Von Maxwell. Now, when you come to the table with such a divergent view of the other side as the left does, how can you negotiate with them? You can't. There's not supposed to be a negotiation. You're just supposed to accept it. And the line has been drawn for me. I do not accept it. I will not accept it. Can't be forced to accept it. You can't bring enough pressure for me to accept it. I'm willing to lose everything in order to stand on that high ground. And I mean that. If you knuckle under, if you accept it, you have already lost. So you might as well stand up, take the fucking heat, and lose anyways. But at least you'll lose standing. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of folks won't go that way. Free cat. Now we have an evil creature on the Supreme Court. Yes, we have a pedophile apologist. A pedo apologist. A bitch that can't even define woman. But the good part is that it's another historic first. Ballistic monk, and they're out to groom kids because they can't reproduce. That's right. Their choices in life have led them down this path. Okay, if two bitches decide that getting together and scissoring is what they want to do, you're not going to have kids. If two guys get together and start banging them penises, guess what? You're not going to have kids. You shouldn't be allowed to have kids because you're fucked up. You're fucked up. There's something wrong with you. Dave Rubin is a prime example. Renting two bitches' wombs to have two kids. Just throw some money on them. That's how little women care about life. That's how little women care about life. How little they care about their wombs, that they're in the streets crying and pissing and moaning over, keep your government out of my body. What's that, 25,000? Okay. Working dude, you're exactly right, Jay. Watch it fall, my brother. Iridium hydrogen, hammerhand, the titanium wrench. I don't know about titanium, but hey. Gents, I'm going to take one little break here. I'll be right back. I got to set something up real quick. We art back. Had to go and get my refreshing drink. Oh, yes. It's disgusting, but I like it. Excuse me. Jared T. Full moon on Passover. The writing's on the wall, folks. I can't tell you how many folks have been telling me or communicating to me in emails here over the last few weeks. You better start watching. Better start watching. Keep your eyes on Israel. I don't think it's that long, folks. I really don't. If this incompetent motherfucker that's running this country, well, that's the figurehead for running this country. Let's be honest. Joe Biden's not running the country. Kamala Harris is not running the country. They're not. They are too stupid. They are too stupid to put their fucking pants on one leg at a time. These people are being handled, and they're being handled by the corporate interests in the military complex, plain and simple. And they're working with the globalists over there in Brussels. So, yeah, these folks are not, they're not running this country right now. This country's kind of on autopilot. Excuse me. Joe Mo, this is why I left the big city and moved to the country where I can guide my daughter's education and growth. Get closer to your roots so that you have a firmer foundation. At least you'll know. At least you'll know when the time comes. And I think that the time is on the way, folks. I really do. You know, I don't like to be a doomsayer. I'm not that at all. But it's hard not to feel that we're one slip away from having somebody deploy a nuke. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's going to come from our side. If it does, it does. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. I mean, once you drop one, it's not going to be the only one. It's that simple. Being out in the country is at least going to allow you to get past the initial deployment of shit like that. It won't blow us back into the Stone Age, not unless 5,000 of them are released. But let's just say you have 4, 5, or 10 of them released. It will change the way that humanity progresses through time on this planet for the next 1,000 years. It just will. It just will. Tom Lightning, hello, Mountain Monk. Good to see you here. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Jared T, full moon on Passover. The writing's on the wall. I already read that. Mr. Valorm, howl like a wolf. Celibate Scorpion, speaking of mice, I wasn't allowed to do my rescue mission. I was locked out of the garage area they were in. Oh, I don't know nothing about that one there, CS. Kova Redro, time to open up some institutes of unassisted human flight testing for these kinds of people to be test pilots. Let them test the ones with no fucking wings, with lead boots. Mr. Valorum, be happy, everyone. We're trying to, brother. We're trying. Success Pool Endeavors, that was Zeitgeist Eater's video. Yes, I know. I know. I did say that, right? I thought I said that. Feral Ravage, the Alphabet Soup Group community are trying to separate themselves from the dog fuckers and the pedos. And some don't like being lumped into those groups. Well, the LGBT community is not a community. It is organized activism. It doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Just like feminism, it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Just like race hustlers, they don't serve a purpose anymore. These people have had in their time hundreds of millions, billions of dollars funneled to them through governments all over the world. Not just this one, but everyone. Because most of these scumbag motherfuckers are set up in this country to distribute their shit all over the world. So that's why a lot of that money and those funds get sent here. They get rich. And I don't mean like a little rich. I mean fucking rich. And they don't want to give that up. If you fix the problem, the money stops. Right? So you can never fix the problem. Except I think people are getting wise to this. I don't actually. Let me walk that back. I don't think that people are getting wise to it. I know people are getting wise to it, especially where this pressure towards our children comes from. You see, I can be ideologically, which I'm not very ideologically driven, but let's just say for sake of argument, ideologically opposed to somebody, and we're both probably going to want to look out for the welfare of our kids. They may be a little more liberal than I when it comes to teaching them about butt sex. I'm not going to be interested in that. If that's something that the kids want to find out when they get a little bit older and they can govern their lives, I'm not going to condone it. I'm not going to tell them great job. Good luck getting your prolapsed anus fixed in a few years. I'm going to discourage them. Plain and simple. I won't not love my kids if something like that goes down, but I won't support it. It's just that simple. You have to have a line, gentlemen. You have to have that little comfortable box that you live in where everybody's trying to assault you from every fucking side and break you down and tell you that you need to accept that, you need to reject this, blah, 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 wah, 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 wah. And you just tell them, fuck you. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And as far as modern day comics are concerned, I'm doing what I'm going to do. I don't buy them. I don't buy any of them. When you have spooks, present and former, in DC Comics, in Marvel, it's time to stop buying them. It's time. These people know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Now, is there maybe an issue with one hand kind of knowing what the other's doing in these mega corporations? Yes. I think that there is a problem there. I think that they are too big to be governed effectively. Even when you have shell corporation on top of shell company, on top of shell company, on top of shell company, they're still too big to be governed properly, to be governed effectively. It's too much for any 1, 2, or 10 people on a board to know about. So yeah, there's a lot of shenanigans going on. Don't buy the product. Don't buy the product. Do you have a Disney Plus subscription? Cancel it. Shit, excuse me. Way of the Kodiak. If anyone wants to see something funny, look up C-Mac reacts to finding out Little Nas is gay. It's gay. Funny as hell. Oh, God. Working dude. Full moons always normally indicate holy days. Mr. Valorm, women ain't worth any of the trouble. Not anymore. Not anymore. They're not. Oh, before I go any farther, gang, big ups to the chat and big ups to the wrenches. Thank you, wrenches, for doing what it is that you do. And thanks, chat, for being engaged. I much appreciate you for being here. Success Pool Endeavors. Boom. I'm going to put that right there. The MGTOW Mirror. If you have wondered about content past, things that you may have heard of that you've missed out on or that have been scrubbed from FuckTube or other social media platforms out there, the MGTOW Mirror is going to benefit you tremendously. Get your butt over to the MGTOW Mirror and start working on, about 600,000 videos. That's how big that shit is. The late, great Vincent MGTOW was a funder. Quite a few of us were. Matter of fact, I think I still owe a memory to them. Get your butts over there, man. Mountain Monk, nice to see you, Tom. One Fast Dak, hit the likes, please, guys. Thank you very much. Celibate Scorpion, so I gave notice I'm leaving ASAP to a new location. Well, cool. I don't know really what you're going on about there with my garden plants. Oh, you'll have to either put a longer comment in there so I can figure out what you're talking about, or just email the channel, and that way I can figure out what you're talking about. Laffy Moore, my birthday was yesterday as well. Happy birthday, Laffy. End of days, folks. End of days. Maybe. Who knows? Retarded Dwarf, I will never look at a pair of scissors the same way. Thanks, Hammer. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. You get those two fucking stumps smashing together. Fuck them bitches. But don't touch them. Jared T, I have been wild dreams. I've been having wild dreams. I mean, we all have wild fucking dreams, man. I remember I used to work at this pizza joint, and the way that the phone rang was annoying. And you work there for so long, right? And you get into the fucking weeds, and fucking Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, you're just getting crushed, just crushed. The phones don't stop ringing for 4, 5, 6 hours. Constant. That shit would wake me up in the morning. I would hear it in my head. I would think that it was an alarm clock going off, and it would wake me up out of a dead sleep, like 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, what the fuck, man? I know I heard that phone ring. Or I used to have an alarm clock next to my bed. I don't do that anymore. But I'd hear it in my head, and I'd instantly react and run over and slam it, trying to grab the alarm clock like it was a phone. I'm like, oh. And then you realize what you're doing. Like, what the fuck? Ronan, it's disgusting, but I like it. What all blue pillars say about cooch. Yeah, I mean, I guess. You know, when I first got into it, you didn't ask me to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it for a minute. When I first got into it, I thought it was gross. I really did. I thought it was kind of repugnant. And then it's like, well, you know, if you want the other stuff, it's like you kind of got to get good at this, you know. You got to pull your own weight. So I did, and I got not to toot my own horn, but I got pretty fucking good at it, and not good enough to keep somebody. You know, Jeff Bezos couldn't keep his wife. Bill Gates couldn't keep his wife. Superman and Indiana Jones can't keep a girlfriend. Now Soups is a fag. Who knows what they're going to do to Indy? I hope that they never make this last movie that they're talking about. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. The shit that they were talking about in the scenarios for Phoebe Waller-Bridge, it was going to be a time travel scenario. Time travel. In Indiana Jones, time travel scenario. Indiana Jones was going to get phased out, and she was going to be put in position to be Indiana Jones. Like for real and for true. For serials. She was going to be the Indiana Jones. You know what this is. You know what this is by now. Come on, man. Don't play with me. Riggs Jr. Fucking Clown World seems sane compared to this shit show. You ain't fucking kidding, bro. Timothy Sokol prepped to the rafters and armed to the teeth. Yes, sir. I think I'm going to go out tomorrow and get some more ammo. Yeah, I think I'm going to go get some more ammo tomorrow. I've got like 5 belts and boxes, all kinds of good shit. But I think I need a little bit more. Going to go get me another 5-gallon bucket of rice and beans and make sure that we're doing it, man. Rada, submissive wife, tearing it up today. Me or you? Who's tearing what up? If it's sexual shit, I don't want to hear about it. Well, maybe a little, but not a lot. Keep it classy. Penny Pounder, autopilot, running out of fuel. Channel 1800, True Riggs, we just stay grounded, brother. Celibate Scorpion, I've been meaning to move away. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Moving out, what? Moving away from your house? Moving away from a location? What? Harmeet Burla will not work for long, though. Wild, man. It's bad enough that they allow this clown Dr. Fauci to jab every... No. They didn't. No. You can't take away people's accountability. You see? You're accountable to yourself for that. He didn't walk up to your door and fucking stab you in the arms and neck with that fucking crap. You guys volunteered for it. How stupid do you feel now? For anybody out there that had to volunteer for whatever the reason was, I had to do it to keep my job. I had to do it to keep food on the table. Okay. See, I chose the other way. I thought, we'll fucking starve before I will take that shit. And I didn't take it. And I'm not throwing shade at anybody that took it. You've got your reasons. If nothing happened to you, if you're not suffering, whew, lucky day, and then just move on. I guess. But for me, it told me something about myself that I was not going to do that under any circumstances. The vetting for that product had not been done. Had not been done. Sifu Black Irish, I have no roots, but at least I am free. That's always important, isn't it? It's always important, man. Dragon Slayer Mar, when they say that they're coming with the buses, they actually listen this time and leave. Yeah, man. Yeah, you got to. MGTOW Live, let the end begin is what I say. Well, wish granted, homeboy. It's already started. It's already started. You're in it. Red D, just like with the infantry, keep your firearms within arm's distance. Keep them on you if you can. Laffy Moore, Israel, the city on 7 hills, a.k.a. Mystery Babylon herself. Riggs Jr., 1800, I just want to stack my chips in peace and enjoy my hobbies. Vanchum Nextum, did I get that right? Vanchum Nextum? Nukes ain't happening. Well, I don't know about that. There's a lot of declassified material that has come up here in years past, not too recent, but would indicate that we have been so close to a nuclear conflict that it was a miracle that it didn't actually happen. That's a little scary. Just a little bit. Francesco Fregal, Skynet is ready. We already have it. They just don't call it Skynet. Wild man, now they're coming after our children with this death jab. That's why you should take your kids out of school. Did you hear the new IRS deal? Now, don't quote me on this number because I'm almost certainly going to get this number wrong. It's something like 7 million people have not filed taxes. And that's compounded from last year where people were just said, fuck it, and they're not filing. Look, man, I think that the word is really starting to get out there. You have to starve the beast. You do. There's only so many of these resources that will go around, right? And when people start looking at fiat currency as a resource, they're not looking at it the right way. The real resource is you. The real resource is your obedience. So they will start sending people to collect your ass. One by one. They'll run 20 missions a day in every little town everywhere. Where's your tax money, bitch? You know, it's not about the money. It's about your obedience to the system. That's what it's about. Feral Ravage, World War IV, back to the monkey. Athos, lifestyle overnight. 1800s lifestyle overnight. No, it won't be that bad. I mean, even if you have a couple of deployments, it won't be that bad. Will some shit go down? Yeah. Will they attempt to declare martial law immediately? Yeah. Look what's going on in China. Like right now, yesterday, I was watching videos of motherfuckers getting blockaded on balconies, screaming from balconies, jumping to their deaths. That's happening right fucking now. Right now. These people don't understand what it means to fight for their lives. They're used to being herded. They live in this culture. They can't see outside of the culture. Remember when Fauci said on TV that Americans just have too much spirit? They should just go along with it. That's the real diamond in the rough right there. Americans have too much spirit because we had to do everything that we had to do to get the fuck away from these other countries, forge and found this country, and now they're trying to flood you out with illegals. They can control the illegals. They can't control you. You've only got so much patience, and they know that. Phalanx, China is probably going to invade this country through Canada and go straight down into the Midwest. Good fucking luck. Good luck with that. That shit's not going to happen. They might get in here, but just like a Roach Motel, they ain't going to get out. Good luck. Sotnar, we're closer than any time in history after that gap between World War II and the Cold War and the Cuban Missile Crisis. I agree with you. Strange, beautiful music. I hear tons of people talking about the left and its very successful assault on a civilization. What's missing? A solution. I suppose. I don't think that they've had necessarily an assault on civilization. They just paid attention. That's where the left has a ground game that is unrivaled right now. You know, and you've got to give it up for that. You've got to be able to look at it and recognize it and be like, yeah, okay, that fucking shit worked. It worked. They paid attention to everything that Christians, conservatives, and Republicans, traditional in all three senses at that point in time, turned their back on because they didn't believe it was important. And it got them the fucking keys to the kingdom. I said when Trump was elected that if you think that this is the end of things, you're out of your mind. These people and their parents grew up in that leftist culture, in that cesspool. They think it's normal. They think it's normal. They will fight you to the death for it. And they've proven that they will fight you to the death for it. People call them cowards. They're not cowards. They just do business a different way. Now, some of them are, just like some Republicans are cowards. But overall, a whole bunch of cowards don't take over your culture, take over your military, take over every fucking thing, every major institution. Those aren't cowards. Those aren't cowards. You got to give these people their due and respect them in that sense. You don't have to respect them for their ideology, but you got to respect the fact that they did the fucking job. They got the job done. See? And they're not going to let it go. They're not going to let it go. You will have to fight these motherfuckers to the death. You will. G Virus, can anyone help me find a vid about women telling feminists, fuck you for ruining our lives? It's all over TikTok. All over TikTok. And you can find compilations of that on YouTube. I can't find it. I think it was either AD or a Snapchat or something. Yeah, you just got to look a little bit harder, man. Just dig a little bit harder. You'll find it. Retarded Dwarf, once private knowledge becomes common knowledge, it's time becomes common knowledge. It's time for a change, whether you want it or not. Agreed. Arc Lightning, I've got bells that jingle, jangle, jingle. Midas the Stallion, if we last 1,000 years, that is. At the rate we're going, I wonder how long our species has. Not very long. Not very long. And it's easy to understand why we don't have very long if we keep doing what we're doing. People are so fucked up and so brainwashed that they simply do not understand the ramifications of their actions in the larger picture. Now, there are localized groups that absolutely understand it. They know what's going to come of it, and they're good. They're good. Gents, I am going to post the chat here, and if y'all want to jump in and say what's up, be my guest. If you don't, that's cool too. Otherwise, I'm just going to run my mouth and talk. Ian Socks, there won't be a white culture in America in 10 years. It's not going to go away that fast. It won't go away that fast. You know, when people say that white people don't have a culture, it's the most obtuse statement that I think could be made. You think about that shit. Everything around you is white culture, European culture. They're so used to whites that they don't equate whites with European descendants. That's what you are. You're a European descendant of some type of variety, of some stripe. You know, our descendants, me personally, have been here since the 1630s. Long fucking time. Long time. I see you back there, Taber, but it says your devices are not connected, bro. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Vanish Mantle. What's up, Vanish?
Oh,
you're back there, Taber, but it says your devices are not connected, bro.
Oh, give me just a second.
We're going to go ahead and bring in Vanish Mantle. What's up, Vanish?
Give me just a second. I need to mute.
Yeah, you got to mute that, bro.
Sorry about that.
That's all right, man. How you doing?
I am doing well. I don't have the curtain in the background.
That's okay.
Because I was working on some gunpla. Man, I am doing well.
You got any current projects you want to show off?
Oh, yeah. Give me just a second. Hold on, I got the YouTube also running in the background. My bad. But yeah, I've been so working on this. I'm building a custom this kit where you can remove the armor. It's got magnets in it. I was actually just working on the feet right now. So you see like these little tiny magnets. I've already got
Yep.
it glued in on the back. You see, um, I was actually going to swap over to my overhead camera setup, but I didn't think I'd be the first one in.
That's
Yeah,
all right,
man.
man. Yeah, I had somebody in here, man, but his devices weren't connected, so we had to boot him. He can come back in anytime he wants.
Gotcha. I was just listening today. Today was just supposed to be a chill day, relaxing. I saw Hammer's live. I'm like, oh, time to listen and get some of that good wisdom. You know?
Well, I appreciate that, brother. Some folks would disagree with you vehemently, but yeah.
Oh man, I know I said this before, but I've been listening to you for years. I remember this gentleman around the time when I found you, and I think his channel was wiped out during the Great Big Tao Purge of like early 2014. Around
Yeah.
that time, for the life of me, I can't remember what his name was, but he would always talk about the various ongoings of like the family court. And I just remember he used to wear glasses, had like a shortcut beard, always
Hmm.
talked outside of his house and near his truck and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I saw you in a recommended on the side. I was like, Hammerhand. Clicked the video, and one of your first videos was talking about ditch pigs, and I was like, whoa! As a black man, I was like, he knows, he's seen some shit,
Yes, sir. Yes,
you
sir.
know.
And I think that the word really needs to be spread on that front. As much as MGTOW is growing, as much as monks are starting to become a thing, and they really are, um, it still needs work, and we still need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get the word out and get people to start respecting themselves a little bit more. If women are determined to go burn, then fuck them, let them go burn. Men can save themselves from that shit if they want
yeah.
to.
That's what I've been seeing. I know last time we spoke, I was on Drex's channel. I'm not going to delve into that stuff, but um, one of the things that I mentioned was that since I work in an office with a bunch of women, every time me and another gentleman in the office say something that the women as a collective don't like, they always go, "How could you?"
It's easy.
Like, for instance, when a woman is attacking you shouldn't hit her back. She's assaulting you. Y'all wanted equality, right? If she's gonna come at me with a knife, she better expect to get death. That's all I'm saying. Or say your like for instance, I mentioned my grandmother was calling me all outside my name, and I just looked at her. I'm a grown fucking man. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Fuck you. My mom
Right.
was JC, calm down. That's my family nickname, JC, which is the first
Right.
two letters of my initials. And my grandmother was aghast. Do you know she has not done that shit since?
You have to put these people in their place.
Exactly.
You must demand respect for yourself. And if folks are unwilling to give you that respect or to at least let you earn that respect, then they got to go.
Exactly. And that's the biggest issue I've had with the majority of society today. We've got too much pussy idolatry, right? You and this is something that I've gone away from this in anime for a long time. You had the waifu culture, very attractive women, but the one thing that I noticed, like, damn, all these female characters are basically perfect. They can't do no wrong. They're super powerful. They're better than the guys at everything. The guy's just a
Yeah.
worthless piece of shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm tired of this. And don't get me wrong, I understand the reason why is because women sell, and a lot of these guys are, like you were saying, they're outcasts, they're separate. They don't have a social group, so they
Yes, sir.
gravitate towards anime and manga. In order to do that, these companies realize, well, these men are desperate, they're lonely, so we'll just give them idols to worship, and that's what it ends
Yeah.
up being.
Yeah. I
I
don't
have female
disagree with that.
characters, that I really enjoy. Shinobu from the Monogatari series. I really like her as a character, but I'm not sitting over here putting her on a platform. She's one of the reasons why I actually like her as a character is because one, she's flawed. very flawed. She's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, you can walk away from it too.
Yeah.
You know, you can walk away from it. So, comments, questions, concerns.
For as far as what you're discussing today, you know, like I said, it's time for men to go back to what we were doing before. Get away from chasing social acceptance. Do your own thing. You know, I don't go out and party. People always say like, "Oh man, you don't have a life. You don't do anything." I'm like, man, you see this shit? This is This was 60 to 70 hours of work. I ain't got time for running around partying with people when I could be doing cool shit like building Gundams and just having fun doing that. You know?
Yep, I agree.
I don't need to run around and chase quote unquote excellence, and that's one of the things that I've started seeing in especially the red pill community. Chase your excellence. Go out there and grind money. Become powerful and stuff like that. Like, what defines excellence? You yourself.
Well, right? I think that's kind of the rub right there with the couple of guys that are out there saying that right now. Excellence is what they show you their idea of excellence is. And of course, I think you should have your own idea of what excellence is. If you want to be a pro model builder, if you want to be a photographer, whatever that is, whatever that means to you, try to be the best that you can be at that. And that's kind of what I take from that. But I got to jump and put a couple of more folks in here,
definitely. Thank you for having me on, Hammer. Hopefully one day we can do some long form stuff. I'm actually working on my first video right now, so that's the plan.
I appreciate you
for it.
Yes,
it'll
sir.
be on the same YouTube channel as far as that you see in chat. So if you want to subscribe or whatever, please do.
Well, if you want to drop your channel information in the chat, be my guest.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Now I'm going to welcome in Carry On. What's up, Carry On? I see the rest of you backstage, so just relax. I'll be with you in a minute.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. So one of the reasons I came on because you were talking about like how a lot of fools say that white people have no culture.
Yes.
And as someone that lives in England, I can definitely say there is a wide diversity of culture in white people.
Yes,
even in the same country.
Yes.
Or different towns, there's so much different cultures. It's just because people are too lazy or they just don't know because they're so ingrained into that culture already. It's like, oh, white people have no culture. You are literally bathing in their culture.
That's correct.
And you don't realize.
It's amazing, isn't it? When you hear people say stuff like that. And for me, it's a convenient way for people that are racialized to take a paintbrush and just brush the shit out of everybody and say that everybody's included, blah, blah, blah. Whites have incredibly diverse backgrounds, incredibly diverse ethnicities, and that's not really what they're talking about. That's not what they mean. They mean include us, Yeah,
those people don't even know their own culture. Like, you say, oh, black people have the same culture. Like, no. Asian people don't have the same culture. If you go anywhere where the people are next to that landmass, let's say Europe, Asia, and Africa, you can go literally to the next village, and the people will have a different culture, different beliefs to a certain degree. The more different people become. And it's just like, you can't say people are the same and monoliths. Like, oh, you're a black person, you're all the same. You're a white person, you're all the same. You're Asian, you're all the same. No. People from different places have different ideas. And after there's families have different ideas and beliefs. Yes, and if you can actually understand that, you're like, well, the world's not the same. That's good. We're not all the same. We're not all going to follow the same shit. My ideas of success, like you told me before, is different from your idea of success. I want to have a good life where I can stay by myself, create ideas, make stories, and people sharing it because I like teaching people and learning from people myself.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that, man. And like I've said many, many times here on this channel, I have no issues with whites wanting to be with whites and blacks wanting to be with blacks, Asians wanting to be with Asians. It's normal. You should want that for yourself, and being demonized over that is an incorrect attitude for me.
Yeah. That's an idea I found weird. Like, oh, I need to be in that group. It's like I was telling you, I'm technically a nerd by standards of what people used to say. So I was used to like staying by myself, reading comics, reading mangas, just doing all my own stuff. And people make fun of me. It's like, okay, you're making fun of me, but I'm not wasting my time on something I don't enjoy. And like now people are trying to jump into this stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
but aren't you the same people that were saying that it was stupid, that it was dumb now? It's like,
Yep.
and I was like, the culture that was there was getting replaced because people want to water it down so they accept everyone in. Like the women, this came in certain aspects of games. Like, yeah, you can come in, but you can't change what you like. If I'm selling you a product and you come like, okay, I want you to change this, like, I'm not going to change this. Everyone that I have here already loves this brand that I'm making. Like, let's say I made a restaurant that sells spicy food. There's a bunch of people that just love this place and they love eating just spicy food. It becomes somewhat popular, and some people come in like, oh, I like it, but can you turn down the spice? Like, no, it's called Well Spiced Restaurant. Or it's like, this is the brand of my food. People
That's
enjoy
correct.
this. I am not going to change this for you who are you're not for the customer. You're a new person that might become a customer. I will leave my brand how it is for people who enjoy my brand.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree with you 100%. You know, if that's what you want, if you want it a little bit lighter, there are 10 fucking places on this block that have it a little bit lighter.
Yeah. It's like,
You know, go there.
I am the rarity. Like there's this new thing where like they want easy mode in hard games. Like, why? There's thousands of other games than like there's like Elden Ring. It's like this game is made how it is. The people want to keep like this. Do not force your ideas upon these people where they have their own niche community where they love it and their fans love it and they love making it. Just leave
I
them
agree.
be.
Agreed. So comments, questions, concerns?
I feel like people are too concerned with other people's ideas. A lot. That's just like one of the reasons why a lot of shit's just gone down the toilet. They care so much about other people's beliefs or other people's ideas with them. It's like, I need validation. It's like, you don't need it. If you can be happy in your own skin and your own beliefs and so on, you cannot be touched by all these crazy things that people have because they get people by making it feel like you need to be in the in group. You need to be following this trend or that trend, or you have to follow this because if you don't, we're going to ostracize you. But if I have my own little time, like my own little space, my own little world, you can ostracize me from your world, but I have my own. So if you don't care what people say, it's like, okay, you're saying all this bullshit. I don't have to follow your rules or your ways. I have my own rules and my own ways.
Correct. I think I had a friend way back when that he would be on every trend. I'm like 30 years ago. He'd be on every trend for a week or so. And we would follow him once or twice. And I liked, like when we got, excuse me, when we got to Joe's and Transformers, I liked him a lot. And he wanted to go and switch to something else. I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna stick with this. And then he started with the whole shaming. Oh, that's old shit. Why are you doing that? Come on, get with this stuff over here. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to be accepted in that way. I just don't. And I think that that's a sign of people that don't have an identity of their own, that they're always looking to group think, they bitch think.
Yeah. Those people they're missing something in themselves, and it's sad.
Yeah,
like
they are.
You have to go with the flow, the wind. It's like, yeah, you can go with the flow, but you have to have your own resting stop.
Yeah, I agree, man. You got to have your own personality. I mean, you can be similar to some folks. You can have similar likes and dislikes, but if you're constantly in lockstep with somebody, that means you're being led. You know, and that's not a good thing. So, but thanks for calling in, Carrie, man. I always appreciate when you call.
Nah, thank you. See you later.
Oh yeah, peace, man. Peace. And MGTOW Cowboy, what's up, homeboy?
No está listo? Okay.
Uh-oh. You there?
Oh,
You there?
I'm sorry. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on, bro. What's up?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah. Hey. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm actually at work.
Oh, that's fine,
Okay,
man.
okay.
You want me to come back to you?
No, I'm good now. I had a very quick comment. Well, first off, how are you, Hammer? And happy Easter to you.
Oh, happy Easter, brother. And I'm fine, man. Just had a down night last night.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, no, I'm stuck at work. I unfortunately was called in. Someone called in sick. I wanted to offer you a quick comment, and I wanted to see what you had to say about this. So, yeah, so whatever. I was called in to work today. I come here. I get to work. I clock in. You know, I like a lot of people. I clock in using like a computer, clock in, clock out. and the management, they can send us messages via like the computer before. So anyway, so before I clock in, it reads, there's a message that I have to read, and I have to confirm and acknowledge that I read it. And it says, what is it? I have to, and apparently everyone in the company has to do it. I have to go online and I have to complete this like online module, this like anti-sexual harassment exercise module thing.
Yeah.
It's like mandated by the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Whatever, I guess I'm going to do it. But I just wanted to call in real quick and comment and say how I very much don't like that. And I sort of, I have this idea that it, I don't know, like there's this constant attack on men's dignity where, you know, it's why should I have to complete this online harassment? I haven't been convicted of any sexual crime. You know, I see this as like almost like a preemptive attack on men. I don't care for it.
Well, it's definitely aimed at men, but let me ask you this. Is it only the men that have to take it, or is it all employees?
It's all employees. However, there's probably only 2 or 3 women in this particular location. But yeah, everyone has to take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It would depend on how it was worded to me. I've left things behind for less than that. But then again, I've also stayed with positions if they're just updating or mandating, you know, some new law passed or some shit, or they're just updating the terms of sexual harassment policy. I mean, I'm not harassing anybody. So yeah, I'll take 5 minutes and read it and then put it through and then go on with my day. It just depends. I would have to see the language to see what they're trying to push.
Sure. And I'm sure I'm going to end up going online and, you know, whatever, doing the little exercise and taking the little quiz afterwards. I just think it's, I don't know. I just think it's essentially government overreach. I'm not a big fan of this sort of what I consider like intrusive social engineering. So
yeah, I'm not either.
I'll leave it at that. I'm sorry. I'm actually at work, but it's a pleasure. And have a good rest of your day. Okay.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
All right. Take care, Hammer.
Yep. Bye-bye. Excuse me. On that topic, before we get to our last guest in here, I see you back there, brother. Hang tight. Man, I have left jobs for less than that. A job for me has never been a thing. You know, it's never been a thing. Folks will say, well, you need a job so you can X, Y, and Z. And yeah, that might be true unless you can support yourself. You know, if you can support yourself, if you've laid down a good base, if you saved that 12 months of cash before you get out there, you know, and you really start grinding to set your life up, maybe you don't need to do that. You know, these policies that these fucking idiots come out with, this, what he said, overreach, it's exactly overreach. It's exactly overreach. A minute, minuscule portion of men that actually engage in that filthy fucking behavior are the ones that it needs to be directed at. It was never an issue until it was made an issue. That's it. That's it. You have a likelihood of being sexually harassed at work if you're a man, an extremely good likelihood of being sexually harassed, especially with the way that the definition has been changing over the last couple of years, which, by the way, I do not accept. We have a clear definition of what sexual harassment is. Passing somebody in the hallway and touching elbows is not sexual harassment. Okay? Asking somebody that you might like on a date is not sexual harassment. Asking them 14 times could be considered harassment, but not sexual harassment. And you can't let these people define your terms of life. You simply cannot. You cannot. So if you're at a job where this kind of shit is being directed at men in particular, and it's not being used as a coverall to make all employees responsible, then leave the job. Leave the job. Make sure that you got something to go to before you find yourself unemployed. You know, do the responsible thing. Don't pile your bills up. But always make sure that you've got one to go to before you leave. And the ideal situation for you, in my opinion, should be don't get a fucking job. Work for yourself. Work for yourself. Welcome to the stream, Cyberscape.
Hey, hello, Hammer. How you doing?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, happy Easter and all that.
Happy Easter, man. For those of you that celebrate, like I said, I fucking forgot about it. So yeah.
I kind of did too. I mean, it's to me, it's another day. I
Yep.
mean, it's some people in my family view it differently, but I'm just
Yep.
Yeah, it's something MGTOW Cowboy mentioned just a few moments ago got me thinking. A company I work for, they pulled up the diversity and inclusion thing about a year ago.
Yeah.
And right before they did that, they goofed and sent out sexual harassment and discrimination. Now, of course, you had to take it. And, the same thing, do it on a computer module. And with the sexual harassment one, I was like, okay, well, yeah, duh. I mean, and it wasn't too cringy or anything. But at the very end of it, they mentioned you couldn't discriminate against people's political beliefs or social beliefs. And boy, that got my ears perked up.
I bet.
Because the very next thing was diversity and inclusion. Opened up the module, and right off the bat, they're talking about multi-genderism. And I was like, that goes against my social beliefs. Nope.
Yep.
And guess what? Our HR lady, who was about a 60-year-old boomer, when I told her that, she got real quiet and she leaned into her phone and went, "You are paying attention, aren't you?" And she chuckled. And she, for the sake of the company, she marked that I took the exam, but I didn't take it. So she played both sides of the court with that one.
I can understand
but
that.
I told her,
no matter what side you're on there.
Yeah, I told her I wasn't. I told her, I said, I can keep fixing machines and making this company money or not. It's up to you. But I won't take that course because it goes against my social beliefs. Because to me, there's men and women, and that's it.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you.
She agreed with me too. I mean, hell, man. Well, yeah, microaggressions. Yeah, what the hell are those? It's like, oh, I tilted my head to the left. That must mean I'm a bigot.
That's if you look at somebody longer than 3 fucking seconds and they're like, "Oh, I got a cold shiver, and I just knew he was sucking my titties in his mind." And that's where these psycho motherfuckers are at now.
Well, I hate to say it, Davina, I'm microaggression the hell out of you right now looking at your picture. Nice looking girl.
This is a no simp zone, sir.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that either. No.
Right on, man. I'm
MGTOW all the way, dude.
Yes, sir. Ian,
I'd be your friend, but that'd be it.
Well, that's why I allowed them in the chat here, because there's valuable insight to be gained. If people are serious about finding out what's going on, there's valuable insight to be gained here by shutting up and listening to what men are saying, even if you don't like what they're saying. It's not one guy or 10 guys. It's 10, 20, 30 million men that are saying the same thing.
Exactly.
So,
and it's who's the guy before you? Is it K-Ron? Was that his name?
Yeah. Carry on, I believe.
Carry on. Yeah. He's mentioning white culture. Go look at just an example right now. You want to see white culture in action? Look at all the Japanese heavy metal bands out there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a band in Japan right now called Love Bites, and it's an all-female group. Good-looking girls. They sound just like Iron Maiden. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's not African culture. Pretty sure that's not Spanish culture. Yeah, that's white culture. It's all white over the culture. Place.
And look, man, there's nothing wrong with it. I have an appreciation for a vast amount of cultures all over the world.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about that. I'll take and mash up and mismatch all kinds of shit and put it together. And it just is what it is. We are unique here in the United States and in a lot of the West, where that is considered to be some kind of appropriation, or that it's inappropriate that you like something that is not of you. To me, that's a mental illness, because they look at it and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with them?
Yeah.
That's the prevailing sentiment of people whose culture you embrace, and then you're chastised for it by your own people. They think that this culture is sick, and it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it's pretty messed up. I mean, it's, and it's like, do you see us lasting another 1,000 years? No.
No,
And
not like this.
not like that. I mean, it's,
Not
but
like this.
I do feel it. See, like to me, with like all like your, who is it, that Leah Thomas or Thompson doing
Yeah.
the swim
Yeah.
team thing?
Yeah.
It's good. What if they're not careful? They're going to turn it right back around to, they're going to be hated in society again, like they were, if they're not careful.
Well, I think
You know, I
that
mean,
we're
seeing,
well on the road to that.
yeah, I mean, well, like, and the same with, like, look at the parents going and attacking school boards for, what the hell are you teaching our kids? And you'll have a parent up there reading out an excerpt out of a book, and the board members are shutting them down for lewd language. And it's like, they'll hold up the book and go, you gave this to my kid to read at school, and it'll be gay porn. And it's like, what do you, I'm just reading the book you gave my kid, and you want to shut me down for repeating it back to you?
Yeah, well,
I
you
mean,
know, your Department
it's
of
gonna,
Homeland Defense is telling you that you're now an enemy.
yeah,
If you show up to a school board and you have objections to the way that these people are fucking your kids up. That's
yeah,
why I tell you, pull your kids out of school.
yeah. They
Pull
sure
your
as
kids
shit,
out of
like,
school.
yeah, they sure as shit want our damn tax money to pay for that school, though, don't they?
Yeah, that's causing
Yeah,
a
that's
problem
cute.
too. You know, there,
Yeah.
what was we were talking about just in California, it was like 2 million kids did not come to school for the beginning of the school year. They're being
Oh, wow.
homeschooled. So it was an astronomical number,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, and they
I
get
didn't know
like
about that.
$10,000 a kid. In most states, that's like the average. It's like $10,000 a kid for the kids to show up to school, and it's an astronomical amount of fucking money that they're missing out on. So don't be
Yeah.
surprised if they decide that they're going to demonize homeschooling or try to outlaw homeschooling.
I bet forget demonize. They'll try to outlaw it.
Sure,
They'll
sure
outlaw.
they will.
You know they'll go, if it's just, well, like somebody mentioned, I've heard people mention here and there bachelor tax. I'm like, oh, I see our government coming up with that, because they don't. Our government's not dumb in the way people like to say they can be. They see the writing on the wall. They see, men walking away and not putting the money in. Yeah. The government doesn't want to take care of those single mothers. They want us men to do it.
Yeah, well, they want to pass the fucking buck.
Yeah.
They want to give them
Yeah.
all of the ability in the world to make those choices and decisions that are not good for them, not good for the kids, and then have you pick up the check.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks, man. I'm good.
Yeah. So I can see it's like how they tried to demonize. Well, they called you some kind of terrorist recently for being MGTOW. It's like, what? He's taking his wallet with him as he goes home. What's the problem?
That was actually
wallet with him.
that was a fake. That was a fake. We found out that was a
Really?
YouTuber. Yeah, there was a YouTuber out there that likes to fuck around with MGTOW, and so that was a fake. So I ended up finding out that was a fake. So I alerted Global News that somebody was manipulating their footage, and we alerted YouTube that somebody was manipulating footage. So
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, we'll see what comes of it.
I'm not, but I am. It's a shame there's people that do that.
Yeah, it is, but that's what these people try to do, man. They try to provoke emotional responses. And early on, when I got into this game, they were getting a lot of emotional responses. I think men have really caught on to the fact that they were being manipulated, so they stopped doing it.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Comments, questions, concerns, sir?
It's just a good afternoon. Good having a good Sunday afternoon.
Right.
Something I'm working on. I can't show you. I'm working on you ever heard of the game Doom?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm working on a mod for that.
Oh man, that'll be nice.
I'm debating. I have so many directions to go with it, but I've thought of calling it Thoughts in Space. Thoughts, because I've got to where I've learned how to manipulate the high definition. Yeah, and I've got 3D models that I can have a girl in a bikini coming up to you with a machine gun, and you shoot her instead of a demon or something. Yeah, but it
sounds pretty cool.
So
man.
many avenues. So it's a project that's going to be a while, because it's going to be changing things as I go along. But I'm debating. I don't know about the title "Thoughts in Space." That might trigger too many people, if you know what I mean.
It might, but still.
But it would be. But I want to go from the angle of being funny. It's like, hey, y'all remember what comedy and humor was?
Yeah.
And
Well, I
it's
mean,
like,
obviously, with what just happened at the Oscars, that's
I was going to
that's
say,
a concern.
yeah, I know. It's sad.
That's a
That's
concern.
the thing they need to do is they need to publicly have Will and Chris need to have a public conversation where
I don't know.
well, the thing of it is, look at the kids that look up to Will Smith. I mean, there's still some that do, I'm sure. They were just
Sure.
told it's okay to slap somebody on behalf of somebody else
Yeah.
in public, and then you get an Oscar for it. That's the lesson they just learned.
It was a horrible, horrible example, man. It was
Yeah,
just not the way that was supposed to go, but we know we have no control over that.
yeah.
So, man, it's nice you called in, Cyberscape. I appreciate you, bro.
No problem, man. Good talking to you, and I'll check in with you again here and there. And big shout out to any war band members if they're in.
Peace, brother.
You take care, man.
Peace, man. Peace.
Thank you.
Ah, man. So I'm going to jump into the chat real quick. I see you backstage there, Jim. Hang tight 1 second, man. Homeschool time. Want to change the world? Homeschool. Enolfo Lantigua, boars in space, or ditch pigs in the outer rim. We can do it that way, too. Mountain Monk played Doom in the late 80s. That guy, 77, stick with thoughts in space. Mr. Logic, sounds like it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. Jody Clintworth, I'm making white people red beans and rice with cornbread today to go with my white people beer. There you go. There you go. Celibate Scorpion. Now it's the time to pull your kids out because you can use the CBBS 19 as an excuse. Don't need an excuse. You just got to get your priorities in line. I mean, folks, there are plenty of ways that you can have your kids at home. You can homeschool your kids and you can still do work. You just have to reorganize the structure of your life. As a parent, it is your obligation to make sure that your children are safe and secure, that they're not being brainwashed. They're not being fucked up in the head by these freaks and these scumbags. And I know somebody's going to say, but I can't. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You just have to do it. Nobody said it's going to be an easy road. There won't be, speed bumps along the way. Of course, there will be. There will be. What's more important? Another generation of indoctrinated, fucked up kids, or maybe starting to repair that rift? I think that that's a lot more important in our society. Wild man. Man, I lost some cowboy beans and some rice. Age of Machines, they got more animated about a slap than they did by Death by Cop or Introduction of Kids. Yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. Never know. Fortunately, I've learned how to calibrate the scope. Uh-oh. James Von Maxwell, remove the welfare checks and you watch. Suddenly you'll see something happening right quick. You fucking A right, you will. Fucking A right, you will. Welcome to the stream, Jim McIntosh. What's up, Jim?
Hey, fellas. Hey, how do I sound?
A little bit scratchy.
Okay?
A little bit scratchy.
All right, sorry. I got just a cheap headset on.
That's all right, brother. Go ahead.
Grief about the cheap earbuds. This is, I don't know if this is any better. Both dollar store stuff.
So what's up?
Listen, brother Dick Marks, he's in a rough way. He's on dialysis 3 times a week. He lives out of his van, and they're telling him he's got to move his van away from the dialysis center. He's got nowhere to go. He's got a couple GoFundMes up. You're going to have to either ask him or go looking for him because he's not e-begging all the time.
Well,
but if you guys can help him out, that'd be great.
Look, tell Dick if he can drop me a line, give him the email and tell him if he can drop me a line, man. I might be able to do something for him there. So
yeah, and it's been coming a long time, because he doesn't really drive the van, so it's in not really drivable condition. It's got it's near end of life, 300,000 miles,
Oh yeah. Do you know where he's at?
Tampa.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are they doing? Trying to usher him off the lot? Is that what they're trying to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he causes no problems for nobody. He does his dialysis 3 times a week, and and survives, out of his van, and that's it.
So much
Smart
for
guy,
compassion for your
just,
fellow man, right?
got ran over by various systems, the medical being a big part of it.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
drugged up as a kid thing because mom wanted the extra dollars for having a special needs kid. All that
Yeah.
kind of crap.
Yeah, I know all about that, man. Yeah, man, Dick has been a stalwart on this channel. So if you can do me a favor and put him in touch with me, I'll get back to him and we'll try to get something going there. I want to address the comment on the screen, man. Saying a woman is good looking is not simping. Grow the fuck up, guys. Look, I was just playing, just goofing. It's not simping to compliment a woman's looks. It's not simping. You might want to pick and choose how you compliment the particular woman, because guess what? They are particular. They're sketchy now. I will say that. But yeah, it's not simping, gents. I was just goofing around. Go ahead, Jim. Uh-oh. We lost Jim. Well, that's all right, man. I'll jump up in the chat here and we can read a couple of comments. Uh-oh, what do you know? Welcome to the stream, Brandon Trueblood. What's up, Brandon? You there, Brandon?
I'm sorry, Hammer.
No, that's all right, man. What's up?
I've got too bad. It's too bad. Sorry.
That's all right, bro. Uh-oh. Took off. One fast deck. Thank you, brother, at Coiled Steel. Peter Oslowski, calibrating scope is first step. Next, learn ballistics. Absolutely. Dragon Slayer Mar at Kevin. Adam was cursed with endless work to survive. Eve was cursed with pain. And so were we all. Never know. Yeah, I have to get the books about ballistics. Working dude, women have made my life hell, but the joke's on them because now we're all living through hell together. That's what happens. That's what happens, man. Ian Socks, people forget about Adam's first wife. Excuse me. Coiled Steel, one fast act. Keep making more MGTOW knowledge videos, my man. Vanished Mantle, as someone who was homeschooled and did a few years in public school, I can honestly say homeschooling was the best thing to happen to me. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Folks demonize homeschooling, and the reasons are pretty clear why they demonize people that homeschool is because they want that fucking money. They want that money. Everything comes down to the shekels. Everything comes down to power and influence. Everything. And you guys should be aware of that. Francisco Fragal, my God, that roast was insane. I don't know what you're talking about. What roast? Did I miss something? I probably did. Mr. McKinnon, the United States needs to re-examine its relationship with the United Nations. President Donald Trump, that relationship is family court system. Our Constitution is the law of the land. Agreed. And we definitely, absolutely have to get away from the United Nations. Have to get away from the United Nations. Celibate Scorpion, it's simping if you're saying it with the purpose of trying to get in her pants. It's not simping if you're just stating a fact about her looks. I guess any of that can be contended, I'll say, but he's not simping. So relax, guys, relax. Having an appreciation for the way a female looks is not simping. You hear? Not simping. Liking it is not simping. It's normal for you to like it. It's normal for men to like women and women to like men. Unfortunately, we're in a position right now where governance has made it impossible for that to be done in a nice way now. And it is impossible. If you're aware of what's going on, if you know, as the saying goes. But yeah, man, it's just terrible the way that people treat one another. It's terrible that men have to opt out of marrying, that they have to opt out of potentially ever having a family, because that's what's been done. That's what's been done. It doesn't benefit nobody for this system to be like this. It doesn't benefit. No fault divorce doesn't benefit anybody. Doesn't benefit anyone. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing good that comes of it. It just relieves females of their responsibility. Now they can be debaucherous, filthy, disgusting whores And they can say, well, you caught me, so what? I'm on to the next one. Oh, by the way, I'm taking a lot of your shit with me. And guys are awake now. Men are awake. Now, I'm not going to say all men are awake, but it's enough where it's causing a problem, a big problem. Kids ain't being born. Why? Because they're weapons. That's why. Because every bitch out there now believes that it's their right to kill kids inside and outside of the womb. What man wants to get involved with that? I don't. I don't want nothing to do with that kind of a thing. And that's a fucking thing. It's a thing. It's not a human. It's not a decent, awesome female. It's a thing. Grow the farm up. We do a homeschool coop in my rural town. No CRT even being discussed here. Good. Congratulations. ACLP's Pimp Kane 07 would have been listening while I clean the house up. Notification got Susaned. Sure, you're all shocked. Casper, read your scripture. Eve received 2 curses. Mr. McKinnon, according to the Zoroastrian religion, the Garden of Eden was governed by a demon. Gilgamesh and Enkidu slayed that demon. Ian Sachs, multinationalism is trash. I agree that there will be some overlap. There will always be some overlap. That's what we call organic overlap. The amount of shit that we see now today is absolutely forced. It's not organic at all. Not organic at all. The direction that humanity is being taken in is harmful. It stinks. Aldwick, if there's a series of books one would recommend, all the books by Terry Goodkind start with The Wizard's First Rule. All the books are extremely thick, but it's worth it. Damn. Cyberscape at CS, exactly. Laffy Moore, Casper, yup, she did. Solar Wolf, happy Easter, Hammerhand. I appreciate you, Solar. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. G-Virus at Hammerhand. I used to be mocked and insulted by my class in high school for never getting a girlfriend. Now they come to me crying, saying how lucky I am. I never got married. What a world. Yeah. Well, it just shows what I started this video about is in-group preferences, right? Because all of these fucking rejects and these losers get together. Now, they're not losers because they exist. They're losers because they can't think for themselves. You see? But they get together, they develop this power base, and they have a power base now. They fuck your characters up. They ruin your stories. They destroy your archetypes. They're nothing but utensils for communism and Marxism. That's what they are. Communism and Marxism use people like this because these people in the natural order are always going to be on the bottom. Always. That's just the way that is. That doesn't mean that they're going to get kicked in the fucking face every time somebody walks by them. It just means that certain social aspects of life are not going to be available to them. And what they're fighting for now is not equality. It's not even equity. It's superiority. And they've shown you, I mean, with absolute certainty, how willing they are to try to crush you and stomp you out. They've shown you that. So what do we got left from the original Avengers? Tony Stark's dead, being replaced by Riri Williams. Thor, he's going to be replaced by Jane Foster, right? Hulk is being replaced by She-Hulk. What, Jen Walters? Goddamn. Valkyrie's a dyke, and they're going to run down that train. They're going to say, yeah, that's what she is, man. She's a dyke. So that's the agenda that's being pushed, folks. And I have like half a shelf of those great Marvel movies sitting over there. And there will be no additions to those great Marvel movies. I might pick up the Spider-Man that just dropped. Morbius was not good. was not good. See, I mean, even Sony, you think that Sony had that golden touch there for a little while with Venom and being all in on this last Spider-Man, and so they fucked up. Venom, while I guess everybody likes Venom, it does enough to keep getting sequels. This is nothing like the Eddie Brock Venom symbiote character arc from the comic books. It doesn't even resemble it. What are you supposed to do, right? I always said way back when, I would love to see Hollywood get involved and get serious with comics, with manga, with Japanimation. I would love to see that. And then right next behind that, coming out of my teeth, falling over my teeth, was, well, that's going to be a double-edged sword. Because if they get involved with something, it's just a numbers game for them. Kevin Feige caught lightning in a bottle with those first 3 generations, those first 3 phases. You say, man, that's a big fucking reach, right? Seriously, like what, 15 films, 18 films, something like that? And all of them were lightning in a bottle? No, all of them weren't. Obviously, some of them were much higher quality and caliber than others. But they didn't have this incessant, insufferable woke garbage in it. This feminist crap, this tranny acceptance shit, right? Where these men and women are kissing all over one another, being filth. They didn't have that. Now they're pushing it. Their television series are fucking bad. They're awful. What accountability did you see for Wanda Maximoff? If any of you saw the Scarlet Witch series, which is what it was the Scarlet Witch series, all right? WandaVision. There were some moments in the series, I won't lie. There were some moments. Other than that, it's a woman that, through her grief, through her pain, oh, my vision, my wait a minute, what do I want to call him? He's like a waifu. Yeah. He was a male sex robot that she could relate to. And it got took away from her. So she enslaved a whole fucking town of people and held them there for months against their will, torturing them. No repercussions. No one is even addressing this. As a matter of fact, what's her face, Monica Rambeau, whoever that woman is that's playing Monica Rambeau, co-signs it. Wanda, these people will never understand what you've gone through and lost for them. Oh, don't worry about this whole town of motherfuckers that you tortured. It's cool, man. We'll just mow that one over. Chalk it up to experience the patriarchy. They had it coming. These series have been fucking dog shit. They've been dog shit. Mark Spector and Moon Knight, dog shit. Captain Falcon, dog shit. You got to do better, Senator. You're too white. When you're making movies, films, TV series, entertainment of any kind, and the first thing on your fucking mind is making sure that one of your gaffers is a one-armed fucking black midget, you've got problems. You can't make good, compelling, convincing entertainment when you have a Neapolitan fucking crew, when you have a Neapolitan cast. You can't make good, compelling entertainment. You just can't. You got to be able to tell the story the way that the story is meant to be told. That means if it's based in white people, if it's based in black people, if it's based in Asian people, if it's organically diverse and inclusive, which hardly anything is, okay. But it's fucking junk. It's junk. I mean, they're striking out and they're shitting themselves because they don't know what to do about it. Here's an idea. How about stop doing what you're doing? How about that? How about stop telling somebody like Henry Cavill, Yeah, you know, you're kind of the perfect super guy, but nah. We're going to have black trans Superman instead because we think it's going to work. So Batman is being replaced. Now, not 100%. Superman is being replaced. Not 100%. But the holy fucking trinity of DC Comics, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all girls now. And supposedly Wonder Woman being an Amazonian is she's a gay bitch too now. She's an intersectional dyke now too. That's why this doesn't work. That's why it's never going to work. You can't take things that are antithetical to the existence of life and say, yeah, this is what we're going to do, man. Yeah, and everybody's just going to love it. And they're just going to, it's going to take a little while. It's going to take forever. It's going to take forever. And I wish nothing but the worst on these companies. I hope Disney goes bankrupt. They deserve to get broken up and go bankrupt. They deserve to have the act that keeps Disney, its own little city, revoked. And it should be revoked. And if I were in close proximity to them, I'd get a sign and I'd picket those motherfuckers morning, noon, and night. I would. I would show my displeasure. These folks have no right to do what they're doing. They've been too comfortable for too long. Everybody forgot who the fucking boss was. Me. You. The person that comes out of their pocket with that cheddar cheese. They're the fucking boss. And now it's time to make these companies understand that. It's time to make them pay. Time to make them pay. But that all depends on you. If you can't leave this product behind, if you can't let this shit die on the vine, then they're going to keep doing to you what they've been doing to you with your money. You got to put that shit away. Yeah, you got to get your priorities straight. And if you can't get your priorities straight, then they're going to keep winning. They're going to keep winning. Mike Roche, Gonzalo Lira, please get acquainted with the man. He is a fellow Red Pillar, disappeared in the Ukraine, probably dead by now. Don't let his name be forgotten. I didn't know that. Ian Sox, customer is king, not woke ideology. Free Ross, black people don't like cold. That's why there aren't too many of us up north. LOL. So what would we be doing in fucking Sweden and Norway in 1700 and 700 AD? I agree with you, man. This shit with Lord of the Rings. Have you seen the, oh my God, have you seen the like-dislike ratio on the American trailer for Lord of the Rings? Nobody knows what really happened, but it's like 170,000 upvotes, and it's gone to 1.2 million downvotes. Then it went to 3 million downvotes. Now it's at like 2.8 or 2.6 million downvotes. That is an unmitigated fucking flop before opening night. Tolkien's legacy is being shit on by these scumbags. They deserve to fail. Do I expect big numbers for that opening couple of episodes? Yes, I do. I expect big numbers for the Lord of the Rings, or what the fuck are they call it? The Ring of Power? Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power? Yeah. Rings of Power. I expect big numbers for those first 2 or 3 episodes. After that, you're going to watch it fall off of a cliff. You fuck around with every fan base out there. Every fan base. And every fan base tells you, what the fuck are you doing? And your response to every fan base is bigot. Racist. You're a homophobe. There's no such a thing. No such a thing. You're an Islamophobe. There's no such a thing, folks. You can't be afraid of words. You can't be afraid to have somebody point their finger at you and gnash their teeth. Because that's what the fucking evil and the wicked do, is they point their fingers and they gnash their teeth. And then you tell them to go eat a dick and that you're just going to think the way that you're going to think, and that they're wrong. They're the ones that are trying to mow you over. It's not the other way around. You demand accountability from the source material, not a complete rework. So you're not watching anything that Tolkien would have endorsed. You're not watching anything that George Lucas would have endorsed. You're not watching anything that Gene Roddenberry would have endorsed. You're watching a bunch of fuck-ups and sellouts destroy these IPs. And it's no different with the comic world. Don't be surprised in the next 3 years if comic books disappear. Now, you'll keep your main properties, your Batmans, Superman, Spider-Mans, Wonder Womans, and a few more. All of it's fucking gone. It's all on the chopping block now. I told y'all, and I've been telling you, they're going to take this all the way to the wall. They're going to get posted up and gunned down. That's how much they believe in this bullshit. That's what they're going to do. And you should let them do it. We have a lot of people out here in this community right now that's working on this, working hard to provide you with that entertainment. And when they start popping these books and they start popping this entertainment and these small independent films, and you don't support them, guess what? Shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing, because they tried and you failed. You said, gimme, gimme, gimme. And then when they brought it to you, you said nothing, and you didn't buy the product. That's how this crap wins. That's why leftism is failing right now, is because leftists don't support the product. They just bitch, moan, and complain. That's why they're losing money by the fucking ton. J, they don't even deserve to be told shit. Just walk away. Agreed. Sifu Black Irish, my wallet is closed to woke puerile trash. Compton, 2952, they think they can shame and degrade you into liking them in their degeneracy. They're finding out the hard way it'll never happen. Nobody is going along with it, but a very small percentage. I agree. And there will always be people that think that they can use that shit and make a buck here and make a buck there. And they will, temporarily. It's not sustainable. O.S. Walker, the books will always be the prime LP, fuck everything else. LP, IP, I guess IP. Steve Sanchez, you're homophobic, racist, sexist, Islamophobic, and anachrophobic. Why not? Mom, you won't let me live here no more for free. Bitch, I hate you. Dane Borrow, I don't pay attention to the NBA, the NFL anymore. Someone told me that piece of shit Kaepernick is going to be on the San Francisco roster next year. Wow. See, I don't keep up with it a hell of a lot. I'll look into that and see if that's legit. Motherfucker hasn't thrown a pass in 5 years. Left the bench as a third stringer. And somebody's going to turn around and hire him, right? I guess that Nike money went pretty fast. Free Ross, manga, anime, and Warhammer 40K is all I'm consuming these days. Never know. Mountain Monk, thanks for the info. Is that why so many families are going to Alaska for a new life? They'll pay you to go to Alaska, to homestead. There's a lot of states in the Midwest here that will pay you to move there. You just got to look into it, man, and find out. They will pay you to move to the fucking state. And if you can do without all of the fucking garbage that a modern city has, which it's 90% trash anyways, you give me Main Street, a post office, a gas station, and maybe a Walmart, and I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I don't need nothing else. But that's just me. That guy, they waited till Tolkien's son died and Stan Lee to molest their work. Yes. Stan Lee was saying before he passed on, you caught him in a couple of interviews, he says, I just want to die. I just want to be left alone so I can die. And they were fucking abusing that man. They were abusing him all the way to his death. And yeah, I mean, that's why I say a lot of people out here don't have those morals, ethics, and values and principles, because if you did, you wouldn't be buying this modern shit knowing what was going on. The motherfucker wasn't even cold, and they were accusing him of sexual assault of a nurse when he could barely move. That's what these people are. They are the scum of the fucking earth. They are scumbags. And that's what scumbags do, folks. Coiled steel, the electric order is that what happened with Disney. You're talking to somebody, I guess, there. Billy Von Baum, the ruling class will continue down this road. Even if they go broke, we're following that China did it in the 50s and the destruction of the old. Yeah, it's not going to work here, man. It's not going to work here. They can go down that road all they want. It's not going to work here. You will see a concentrated effort to suspend or modify 1A and 2A. You will see that those two have been under attack for 40 fucking years, 50 years from these scumbags. And it's going to get to a point where they're going to try to have some success with that, and they're going to try to hamstring you. That was one of the very big disappointments about Trump going in on that bump stock ban. Stupid motherfucker. In my opinion, Trump did a lot of good things, but he did some bad shit too. And that was part of the bad shit. And not looking into Section 230 a little more comprehensively. The eclectic order, this is what happens when you defund your asylums. I agree with you. Thank you, Kennedy. Thank you, Reagan. Jim McIntosh. What's the thumb count, fellas? I'm seeing under 70. That can't be correct. That's not correct, is it? That's not correct. Oops. I'm sorry, guys. Get back to this real quick. Yeah, that's not correct. That's not correct. I can't see it, but it doesn't matter anyways. Free Ross at OS Walker. I got into the back of a 2007-8, but Luton got me deeper in 2019. Sifu Black Irish, 294. Oh, thank you, Sifu. I appreciate you, brother. 294 Fonzies, man. Moving in on 2.5 hours, folks. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. And just give you my final opinion on what I think should be done as far as comics are concerned. When I was growing up, I loved Iron Man, which a lot of people can't say. The Blue Devil, which hardly anybody knows what the fuck the Blue Devil is. Red Tornado, loved Red Tornado. Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, and a couple of others. Those were the ones that I went after. I am not interested at all in messing with these comic books, knowing who controls the properties, knowing the kind of filthy, debaucherous shit that they're inserting into these books. I'm not interested. Michael Guevara, 566 Fonzies. Man, that's pretty good. I appreciate that. See, I was showing something totally different. So, yeah, I'm pretty good. I guess sometimes if you don't refresh your screen, you don't see the actual shit. But Timothy Sokol, I'm out, guys. I'll see you later, Timothy. Thanks for coming in, bro. I appreciate you. Shay Neck, you got some pretty good callers, Hammer. Yeah, man. Not bad at all. I enjoy folks when we give them a little bit of time to come in here and say what's up. And you know, you just sit around and listen to me ramble and shit. Almost 475, close to 475 sets of eyeballs in here right now. Thanks for sticking with me, man. If you like comics, if you like modern pop culture, if you like pop culture from the past, protect it. Gatekeep the fuck out of it. That means that you have to have an understanding of what it is, folks. When I say gatekeep the original trilogy, right? That's Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi. Gatekeep the original trilogy. They will try to remake the original trilogy. You will not get dime one from me when it comes to a theater. Fuck that. That's never going to happen. Not for me. I don't care if the whole world goes to it and raves about it. And no. Have some fucking respect. Have some decency. Why do you think they're buying up digital image rights to all of these actors? It will get to the point where they will stop paying actors. You'll just have stunt doubles. You'll have body doubles. And somebody else's face is going to be grafted onto that neck. It's the Running Man for real. Gatekeep your properties. Don't let people sneak their filthy, disgusting shit into the things that you love. You like comics? Support back issues. Buy back issues. Stop buying this modern fucking trash. Look, it was a good run. It had to end at some point in time. It was a good run. It was. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comics sitting over here that attest to the fact that it was a good run. Dozens of manga, dozens of laser discs. That's right. I collect laser discs. Got a laser disc player right there. Right there. Gatekeep your good feelings. Gatekeep your memories. Stop allowing these people to pave you over while you're breathing. They don't deserve that from you. They don't deserve that from you. Mr. Hemi 4-Speed, a great show, Hammer. Thank you. Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. Scroll Crates, they did that with Harold Ramis in Afterlife. I was not as put off by that as I thought I might have been. I thought that there was a little too much of it. A little too much. You know? But it pissed me off. It was one of the only things that really irritated me about that was the whole bad father trope again. One more again. The whole bad father thing. Fuck Hollywood and this weird obsession with trying to demonize people. They got to make you look bad, man, in order to put women in a spot to look good. That's how shit they are. Does that make sense? For you females that are in the chat right now, do you feel that? Do you think that that was harsh? Does it embarrass you? It should embarrass you. Even if you had a bad relationship with your own father, it should embarrass you that people presume upon you in such a way. Fucking ridiculous. Coiled Steel 581. I'm assuming Fonzies. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies. ACLP's Pimp Cane. Some of y'all at Chronics later. See some of y'all at Chronics later. Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get on down the road. Take care of business. Do your thing. Don't fall for these stupid fucking tropes. Don't fall for race-swapped characters. Don't embrace sex-swapped characters. Don't embrace tokenism, because it does nothing but dilute and destroy the brand that you want to see. You see, these things don't last. They're not going to last. Live long and prosper, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.